back to my channel, JussRighteousWaterFlows. So their plan was to keep leading you towards failure. Their plan was to keep leading you towards failure, but it backfired on them. And it's funny because you really was falling for it for a little minute. You really thought these people really had you. The whole time, trying to sit there and pretend like they wasn't really on you like that, but they really was. Watching you, watching every little detail, the way you move, the way you do things, pretending like they didn't appreciate, pretending like they couldn't value your authenticity. And once they begin to see that you still just remain the same, regardless of what they did, it got them more tight, more vexed, more confused. Like, how is it that you keep doing you? How is it that regardless of what they do, sorry about the noise in the background, like I said, regardless of whatever they do behind your back, them little traps, the disrespect that they did when you wasn't around, because they really did appreciate you. They really did. They effed with you. You know what I mean? Like, they really did see that you was a real one. They know you real. They know you down to earth. Out of a lot of people, they trust you. But the thing is, they hated the fact that all these other people started to love you in ways that they couldn't be appreciated and loved. Not even knowing that they were setting more enmity between themselves and God. When they try to pull you out of the narrow path that they seen you was focused on. You fell a few times. You fell for the little tricks. You see, but God, He still had His hand over your life regardless of whatever was going on. So you had to stay focused. You had to stay diligent and consistent and persistent, because God had something for you that they never ever expected, which was true restoration. You had the truth in your character, in your spirit. When you was born with love. You was born with authenticity. You was born with natural transparency to be able to share with the world. That brought quality into your character that they just couldn't comprehend. The truth is, they wanted to be like you so much. They wanted to steal your very essence. They wanted to steal your quality. They wanted to steal your creativity. They wanted to steal what God gave to you, your gifts. They hated the way that people valued you. They hated the way that people clapped for you. People applauded you. You were getting too much clout. And they was doing too much clout chasing. Here it is. It's sad. And you just sat there and kept showing them love. You felt like a fool. And they tried to make you look like a fool, which they did. But that didn't last for too long. Because when God revealed to you who these people really were, you disappeared, and God had to bless you in a whole nother way that they never expected. Beyond finances, God restored your spirit. He restored your relationship with Him. You know how many people wish that they can continue their relationship with God? They gave up. They gave their life over to the enemy. They chose to serve that devil. And you out here walking this narrow path, living free, blessed, more than financially. Hello? I don't know who needs to hear this, but continue. Continue being you. Because they're going to be trying, they're going to be wishing, they're going to be hoping, they're going to be praying. For some reason, God's not going to hear them. Because the Bible says that, first of all, it's harder. When you fall into the world, it's way harder to come out of this world. When you deliberately going against God's will, when you touching the anointed ones, when you touching God's prophets. It's unfortunate The Bible says, do my prophets no harm. And the whole time you speaking life. You giving your authenticity, you giving your heart, you giving your best moves. Like, look, go like this, go like that, move here, go there. Go this way, go that way. And what they did, they fronted like, hey, hold up. What you mean? You should go like this. But they end up going the way that you said to go. They end up taking your advice to the point that when they started to realize that you were giving them too much good advice, they started to hate that. We started to peep what was going on with them without even having a conversation. They started to feel like, why is it that you know more about them than they do about themselves? How did you figure them out in a lot of situations? Not every situation, because we're not God, right? They started to be confused. That's what happened when you allowed a delusion over your mindset. When you act one way around a person, but then you change up and act a whole nother way around somebody else. When you don't allow certain people to be themselves because you want to try to trigger them to be the worst part of themselves. You think God didn't see that when they did that to you? They were taking advantage of you. Every time they got around you, their plan was to put you in a position so that you can do worse in your life. There it is. What is it that you're not getting about what I'm telling you? They did not want to see you win, period. They were hating on you. They know you was the chosen one. They knew you was the one that was about to make a difference. You was making a change. You were making the impossible happen. And God had to change everything around for you. God had to separate you so that He can rebuild you, help you renew your mind and take you towards where He needed to take you, so that you could be able to meet the right people that do appreciate you for who you are, that sees you for who you are, that's honest with you, that's transparent, that respects you, that reciprocates the energy that you give, and that pays you for your time correctly. It is. It's so beautiful. Now you can finally be everything that God wanted you to be. You just had to let go of these narcissists, of these fake imitators. God had to show you that they were pretending. God had to show you that you don't have to accept the pretenders. And now every time you come across people, you have way better discernment on who really is down for you and who's playing these games. Because God will do it for you. And some of them are still stuck. Some of them are still confused, trying to figure out who was really down for them, who really got their back. Even right now, some of them regret it. They regret doing you dirty for the simple fact that they didn't even know their discernment was so down, and they were so confused and so much of a delusion to the point that they didn't even know that you really had their back low key. They just chose to listen to your haters. They knew these people were hating on you. They just said, you know what, they hating, I'm hating. I'm gonna get together with his haters. Fake family members that went behind your back and tried to say a whole bunch of things that was not even true. And these people couldn't even come to you and address you like adults, like mature people, like mature men and women. If they knew anything about God, then they'd understand that you communicate to bring out understanding. The only way for something to be done in heaven is for two people to agree on earth. Yes. How can we bring heaven on earth if you don't come to an agreement, a compromising on earth? How do you compromise? You have a conversation. Communications. Very important in today's time, and that a lot of people lack. They lack the patience, the time. They don't want to give no effort because they think they know somebody before they spend the time to really get to know what a person really is about. They don't know what they have until somebody is gone, until they realize there's really not too many people out here like that really even got the gifts, the time, the talent, or even the consideration, the empathy to even know who the Creator is and why the Creator put us here. Why is it that we must be patient with each other so that we can get to the next step? Forgiveness is essential. Forgiveness is a virtue. If you can't forgive, it's going to be hard for other people to ever forgive you. You can show love to people, but if you're afraid to be honest and show love to yourself, it's going to be hard for people to show love to you. This is just how the world goes. What goes around comes around. And guess what? God came around for you because he's seen that these people try to hold you down and not lift you up. They try to hold you down, not hold you down in a way where they was supporting you. They was holding you down in a way where they was distorting you. They was trying to completely finish you. They was leading you in a position, in a path for you to be embarrassed, for you to be stuck, for you to fall into the world. They didn't respect the things that you was telling them. They didn't respect when you was talking about God. They didn't respect when you was trying to bring love into their life. They didn't respect when you was trying to give them gifts and you was there for them when they was hungry. You was there for them when they needed some type of direction. They needed some creativity. They needed some support and something that God brought them to be a part of in their life. You didn't ask to be a part of these people's lives. God brought these people into your lives and you respected that. But these people didn't want to respect the fact that God brought you into their lives. I don't know who needed to hear that. But never fear and don't stress, because God does everything for a reason. And you went through this pain because God wanted to teach you. God was building you up for the right people in your life. And they missing out. And it's funny because it wasn't meant for them to be there anyway. They were just the lessons of the time for you to receive the blessings. That's all that was. You were way too focused. You were way too much on point. You wasn't perfect because ain't nobody perfect. You wasn't trying to pretend like you was perfect. You was being yourself. You wasn't ashamed to be like, you know what? Yeah, I'm not perfect. I'm working on myself. I'm gonna get there. I'm building. I need support. You wasn't ashamed to say, you know what? Hey, I'm gonna help somebody else before I can help myself right now. And God's seen that, but God says, look, enough is enough. It's time for you to help yourself. You need to do you now. All them years of you helping, supporting people, it's over now. This is your time for you to shine. And they know this. They feel it. They know what God is about to do for you. They know it. They can feel it in their heart and their spirit, and they know they messed up with you. And they're receiving the karma that they deserve. So don't go back trying to sit there and think that you're going to go and you're going to try to refriend them and be around them and think that you're going to try to help them. No, they had their chance. God already showed you many times. Let these people go. Moses said, let my people go. And God let you go. This is your time. So hopefully this resonated. Just righteous water flows. Peace and love. I got to go. Love.